Hey guys, it's me again, and here we go with the first of today's videos, as we're on Saint Helena, as and was believed to be discovered in May of 1502 by João de Nova, a Spanish navigator who was said to be in the services of Portugal. The exact date of discovery has traditionally been given the 21st of May. Which in the Eastern Orthodox Church is the feast of St. Helena, the Roman Empress and mother of the Emperor Constantine. More on that later. As other evidence suggests, however, it was May the 1st, the Roman Catholic feast day of the True Cross, of which St. Helena was the reputed discoverer, as the existence of the island was known only to the Portuguese until 1588. When the English navigator, Captain English Cavendish, visited St. Helena on his return voyage from around the world, which would have been quite a feat back in those days, as Ireland soon became a port of call for ships en route between Europe and the East Indies, now Indonesia. There was more on that last year, kind of thing. As the Dutch may have occupied St. Helena from 1645 to 51, but in 1659 the English East India Company took possession of the island, and after a brief Dutch occupation in 1673, the East India Company was confirmed in their ownership of Madeira. That's Madeira. We'll get to that shortly as well. In their ownership of St. Helena, and by 1673 half of the inhabitants were imported slaves, but between 1826 and 36 the slaves were pretty much freed, and the remoteness of St. Helena made it attractive to the powers of Europe as a place of exile for Napoleon I, as he was confined at Longwood House on the island from October 1815 until his death in May 1821, and during that period the island was placed under the jurisdiction of the British Crown, and so subsequently the East India Company resumed control until 1834, when the authority of the Crown was restored. As St. Helena remained reasonably prosperous as a busy port of call until about 1870, as the stream started steam replaced sail in seafaring, as the Suez Canal opened in 1869, as changing the pattern of the sea routes. And in the early 1960s, a telecommunications centre was developed on the island, in a centre on the island of Ascension, and employed workers from St. Helena and restored a degree of prosperity. But St. Helena was given some measure of self-rule through an order in council and royal instruction in 1966 that became effective in January 1967, that provided for local executive and legislative councils. This order was replaced by a new constitution that became effective in January 1989, and the territory's relationship with the Great Britain and the UK continued to evolve, and in July 2009 both parties approved a new constitution that came into effect on the 1st of September. It included a Bill of Rights and limited some of the new powers of the governor, while giving more authority to the elected members of council. And remember that good old person called St. Helena? Here we go with St. Helena. St. Helena. And she could also be called St. Helen, It was born around 248 CE CE in what is believed could be Dryapanon, Bithynia, in Asia Minor, now Turkey, and died in 328 CE in Nicomedia. The Western feast day is 18th of August. The Eastern feast day with Constantine is 21st of May. She was a Roman Empress who was reputed to discover Christ's cross. As Helena was married to the Roman Emperor Constantius I Chlorus, who renounced her for political reasons, and when her son Constantine I Great became emperor at York in 306, he made her Empress Dowager, and under his influence she later became a Christian. She was devoted to her eldest grandson, Crispus Caesar, whom Constantine made titular ruler of Gaul. But a mysterious embroilment in the family culminated with the execution of Crispus and Fausta, Constantine's second wife and Crispus's second stepmom. So after the story became current that Faustus has accused Crispus of attempting to seduce her, something that you kind of did back then. Hence Crispus set his execution in 326, as Fausta in turn was denounced by the grief-stricken Helena, and was executed shortly afterwards, as historically the explanation remains questionable, as after the tragedy Helena made a pilgrimage to the Holy Land, as she caused churches to be built on the reputed sites of Christ's nativity in Bethlehem and at the Ascension which is near Jerusalem. And before 337, it was claimed in Jerusalem that Christ's cross had been found during the building of Constantine's church on Golgotha under a temple of Venus, but had been demolished at the site, and later in that century Helena was credited with the discovery. Many subsequent legends developed as a story of the invention or the finding of the cross, enhanced by romances and confusions with other Helens, became a favourite throughout Christendom, as a story was again told in St. Wood's 9th century poem Ellen. And yeah, that is St. Helen for you, and yeah, bye for now, and I'll see you very shortly.